Hey guys, hello. Very good afternoon to all of you. Good noon to be precise. Welcome to the session. Great that you guys are back. I'll just put it up. Just a minute. Let me check the basic initial set. Good to go. All right. Right. So we have one couple of people watching from YouTube, and probably there are other resources I'm not getting any idea about right now. Cool. Guys, I think if you can just put it on the chat box that I'm clearly visible and audible and no other kind of disturbances are there. If there's any problem, I'll make certain adjustments. I hope everything is in place and you can listen to me clearly and effortlessly. Today, among all the elements, we'll talk about building up your online presence, right? How do you build up your what's yeah. So this session is all about building up your online presence. This is a part of all the series that we are running for data analytics interview preparation. And although we call it interview preparation, but I think we are starting from the very basic, right? How to set up your profile, and even we are starting from this thing right at the fundamental, right from the fundamentals, right? So, for example, pre-interview stages. Hey, hi, Vinay. Good afternoon. So we are starting from. I think yesterday or not exactly yesterday, but day before yesterday, we discussed about the market, Indian market, especially Asian subcontinent market of data analytics and data science. What is the data project architecture and flow looks like? We talked about various kind of roles in data analytics. We talked about what are the various purposes, what are the various tools, and we got ourselves a very good introduction about what do you mean by data analytics and all, right? So now I'm actually starting this series in which now in this entire series, what I'll discuss now that I can sense there is a couple of people who are new in the entire process. I have to get back to my tab and spend around a minute on explaining what exactly will we be doing in this session. Okay, so I'll just open up my whiteboard. Okay, here we go. Let me put it up over here on the screen, and I have not shared the screen, so I'll just present my screen. All right, so this is what we did last time we met, right? We talked about what kind of careers do we have. We talked about a lot of things actually. Okay, right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Over here, please. Thank you. Right. So this is what we had. So you know, this is exactly what I was talking about. This entire portion. So I'll just take it up. So we're actually talking about this entire part over here, the highlighted ones. Okay, the highlighted one which is there in the square, this portion, right? We'll look at this is what we're going to do basically throughout the entire session. We'll talk about interviewers' problem. We'll talk about how to professional social network online presence. So before we actually moved on to interviews problem, I talked about social your online presence, how to build up your online presence. People very conveniently ignore this element. They have a habit of okay, LinkedIn account तो है मेरा, right? YouTube में भी थोड़ा बहुत हूँ इधर उधर कुछ कर देता हूँ. Plus at the same time I am there in various other resources, and they generally don't take this very seriously. And it's a mistake. Of course it's a mistake, right? Because your online and digital footprint is the first impression, or is the thing which is creating the first impression in the interviewer's mind. So it's very, very important. Okay. And ignoring these kind of things and thinking that I have the basic prerequisites. Everybody has the basic prerequisites. Everybody has a LinkedIn account. Everybody is there on some or the other social media network. Apologies for the background, guys. Sorry. Yeah. The real question is, how can you be different? Question is, how can you be different? How can you stand out? Because if you don't stand out from the herd, then in that case there are very high chances that you won't get selected, unless the company has a lot of requirements, or it's like dire requirement from the company side. Then we can say that, okay, now we can say that, probably I'll get selected without being, projected an image of being somebody who can stand out from the crowd. Okay. Then we'll move on to strategies of leading your interviews. This is where we try and keep the 80% of your interview in your comfort zone. And this can be done. Done it, applied it, taught it. And people who have been taught have applied it. So, point is, it can be done. And interviewer knows that what you're doing, right? They're just happy letting you do it. I'll come back to that. Okay. Now, self preparation, there are two levels of preparation. One is, of course, strategies and what we need to do externally. There is a self level of preparation, right? That is, what is the preparation that you need to do on yourself. So this will move on to self preparation. Let me just highlight this again, right? So we'll move on to self preparation. In fact, we'll move on to three levels of awareness over here. One is self awareness, environmental awareness, and goal awareness. And then we'll see how can LLM models like ChatGPT can become an interviewer for us. And we'll move on to commonly asked tech and non-tech interview questions. Okay. So let's move on. Let's get going. So once we talk about building your online presence, can anybody tell me, if I say that you need to create a digital footprint, मतलब internet में थोड़ा present रहना है, even if you are a fresher, what are the various kind of social media or what kind of platforms you should be on? You can put it on the comment. कमेंट में आप डाल सकते हैं कि आपको कहाँ कहाँ पर रहना चाहिए, where should you be, so that your digital presence can be recognized by the interviewer or the selection committee or the hiring manager. So you can put it on chat that कौन से platforms में you have to be there, that is your profile has to be there. So it'll be great if you're a fresher. I mean, don't worry about that. Even freshers need to create profile. In fact, as an interviewer, I'm really glad at times when I see freshers taking their online presence seriously, because freshers are generally under the opinion, यार मेरे पास अभी है ही क्या, right? I just need an internship and a job, and then I need to get started. And after 3 to 4 years, I probably can talk about something. But that's not true. You can still show your importance to the company, or you can still project your online presence properly. So, what are the websites or what are the web pages where, or what are the places where you need to build up your profile? First and the foremost is LinkedIn. Of course, we're talking about LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn में profile बनाना है आपको. Of course, you would have created the profile, but you need to nourish the profile slightly better. We'll discuss. Majority of our discussion will be on this today. Then there are other places as well. For example, you need to be present in Kaggle. We'll start from here and move on to this thing. It'll be great if you can move on to GitHub and create your profile over there as well. You have to have GitHub profile, Kaggle profile, LinkedIn profile. Now, after all this is done, you can have a professional web page for yourself as well. I think this is a very, very common culture in the Western part of the globe, that people create their web page, or I should say online resume. This is nothing but a online resume. Instead of sending your resume in the textual format, see, the problem with major resume is the problem with textual resume is it's all text. Somebody has to read it, right? And the world, unfortunately, is not into reading much. They want to absorb the information, but everybody around doesn't want to read much. So either if you're sharing a textual document which contains text, the document should be so well crafted that the whatever you want to highlight gets highlighted very easily, and whatever you want it to be read, I think that will be taken care of very easily. So resume जब discuss करेंगे तो आएंगे इस चीज के ऊपर, right? But having a professional web page, right, a web page which belongs to yourself, it obviously involves a bit of cost. Yes, उसको बनाना, एक डोमेन खरीदना, डोमेन में फिर आपको थोड़ा बहुत somebody has to be hired, and you'll have to make a online a web page for yourself, and then online resume बनाने जैसा, and you need to maintain that as well because you'll be forwarding it. But that's, I think the return on this kind of activity is definitely way higher than you expect. आपको लगता है मेहनत क्यों करूं? It's called give and take, guys. It's not take and give. People were wise enough in the old times, right? It's called give and take. You have to give first, you have to make things first, and then you can take things away from the places you have put in your effort and time. So this is what we can go for. I think for starter, I think this is, if you're present here, if not on YouTube, right, then I think these 4 to 5 things will be more than sufficient for your online presence. Majorly, we'll talk about LinkedIn profiles. We'll definitely talk about LinkedIn profiles a lot today. Okay, but let me start with something called as Kaggle. All right, guys, so I think you guys have been really, really interactive in the past, so it'll be great that if you can continue the same. So let me, okay, I have it over here. I'll just put it up. So I'll go for Kaggle. Let me open up Kaggle over here. I've already logged in, but you might have to create your profile over here, and then you can start it up, right? Uh, See, guys, Kaggle is a website, or it's basically an open source platform, open source data related platforms. You can have n number of things over here. I'll just go through the platform very clearly. यहाँ पर अगर आपका अकाउंट नहीं है तो अकाउंट बनाइए. It's very easy. It's very easy. What you need to do is to give your Gmail credentials. That's it. You can have a Gmail ID over here. You can have a Gmail ID, and using that ID, you can create a credential over here. Now in Kaggle, what you can do is you can do a number of things. First of all, if you go to home, you can see that there are various data. See, first of all, there are free data sets available over here. So anybody who has started their journey in data analytics, have started learning few tools over here, you can have free data sets downloaded over here. Trending data sets. These are the data sets. Absolutely free. eShop Clothing 2008. College exam results of SAT. World Economic Classifications. These are all good level free data. What you need to do is to make an ID and download the data. That is one thing. Okay. Okay. And then you can use the data for your personal purposes. You can have the data for any kind of model building for practice. You can have the data for any kind of dashboard building. You can have the data for any other aspect that you want to be covered. Okay. So these are certain examples of the data that we have. You'll find a lot of data sets over here, right? We can go for predictive modeling. We can go for time series analysis in case you guys are into that, right? So बहुत सारे data sets absolutely free में available है. That is one thing about Kaggle. Second is Kaggle host, or other, it is a platform which make individuals or groups or institutions to hold competitions, the competitions of achieving results through data. Okay, so that is one thing. For example, here home credit risk and model stability. This is just, and as you can see, there's certain competitions over here which are paid as well. There is a prize on it as well. So who knows, if you get to that particular level, you might one day earn the prize over there as well. So it's basically like that. But well, it'll be you know. At this point of time, I would say that perhaps we can go for smaller level competition, build our profile, and build our intellectual capability to, participate in these kind of bigger profile. For example, as we can see in active competitions, we can see that there's this is knowledge based competition. That is, we can, what they're saying is that you'll not be able to earn any money, but you'll be enhancing your knowledge over here. Again, knowledge over here. For example, Titanic machine learning from disaster. This is a Titanic, the Titanic, the cruise, which, unfortunately, the unfortunate accident, right? There's a data set on that, and well, we had to go through the project exactly to understand what the project is all about, but it seems to be interesting, right? So you can have, there's an overview, data, code, what are the models. And I think the best thing that I have benefited in the past is the discussion forum over here. Here people actually discuss a lot of things. Okay, there's a discussion forum over here, and you can actually get into any one of the forums over here and start either discussing or have a look at the discussion that is going on. People are very happy over here to share their work absolutely for free. And as you can see, there are people discussing it. There are people giving you exact codes over here in case you're up to it. They're giving you processes, how to handle projects, and how to handle what kind of data. All these kind of things are there in every competition. So Kaggle host competition as well. You can participate in the competition. Okay, now for example, let's say I participated in one of the competition. Let me see, where is my competition. I'll just move on to this. I'll go to my profile. And if I just go to my competitions, okay, this is one of the competitions that I have participated in. For example, I just participated in this AI driven mathematics Olympiad. Now, I believe if once conclude the project right now, I'm not getting the link, but you definitely can, share your work over here in the other parts of the, other platforms in which you're a part of. For example, I would love to have write a LinkedIn article over here on how I got a part of this project, what I did in this project, and what are the results that I achieved in this project. We'll move on to that later on, right? But Kaggle के आपके जो projects, in case you participate in the project, you can definitely put it on the LinkedIn. And the advantage of this is there's an activity which is being shown over here, which is basically driving, which is it shows that you are active on LinkedIn and active on other data related platforms over there. Extremely important. Okay. So you can participate in the discussion forums, you can look at the models, there are codes over here, plus you can learn over here as well. So you can learn various things. So you want to learn Python, you can learn Python. Intro to programming, intro to machine learning, pandas, intermediate machine learning, data visualization, right? What are the various libraries in Python, and what are the various libraries in the other tools in which you can use? Okay, and there's a final project which is given over here. So as you can see, plenty of things that can be done on this. So if you guys do not have your ID over here, ensure that by the end of the day today, before we meet for the next session on Monday, you ensure that you create an ID over here. Okay, there are a lot of things that you can do, and these kind of things generally come up with a lot of intangible advantages, right? So please do that. That is the first part that I wanted to discuss. That is Kaggle. So ensure that you have a Kaggle account, right? I think similarly, we can go for something called as GitHub, right? We can go for something called as GitHub over here. The same thing, slightly more technical and advanced over here, but you can have, you go through it over here. Fortunately, unfortunately, I'm not much into GitHub, but I completely understand the importance of it. Okay. So if we can just, I think I'm already logged in over here. No, I don't think so. I can just sign it up. Okay, and make a ID and make a make a GitHub account. You'll be able to store codes, you'll be able to store procedures, you'll be able to store your projects over there. Not only you can do that, you can share the projects, you can access to the shared projects by other people, and a lot of advantages just like Kaggle is there for GitHub. So before we move on, Kaggle and GitHub, two things: ensure that you have your account on them, and not only you have the account, you have an intention of actively participating in these kind of sessions. Okay, right. So this is what I wanted to discuss, guys. What I now will do is, I think we have discussed GitHub and Kaggle. I'll just do one thing. I'll put a tick on what we have already discussed, right? So I think I am proud of my intelligence, but my memory is like such badly. Okay, it's very bad. Cool. So I'll just put it up, tick over there that we have covered Kaggle and GitHub. And now we'll move on to LinkedIn. Probably not worry about the last two parts as well, because I think this is going a couple of steps ahead of yourself right now. But I'll talk about LinkedIn. Okay, I'll definitely talk about LinkedIn. So let me open it up. All right, cool. So I think most of the examples that I'll be doing is I will majorly, talk about my own profile, uh, not to brag or anything. The What we do is we take our own profile and try and set up an example for students that how should a profile be. I'm not absolutely saying that my profile is perfect and there is no other improvement required in the profile, but what I'm trying to say is that this is the minimum your profile should be reflecting. Okay. Right now, I'm using a big monitor, guys. So my display of LinkedIn might be different from what display is displayed on your laptop, depending on the configuration. So my screen is slightly bigger, so don't be alarmed over there. It's not a setting, right? So what I'll do is I'll click on this. Okay, the first thing that we need to do, so I'll just break it up into few pieces over here, and let's see how we're going to end up looking at your LinkedIn profile. One is the first thing that we are going to look at is your LinkedIn professional link, your own personalized link. This is your profile. Actually, this is my profile link. All right. So a lot of people actually go for this kind of approach that if somebody asks for your profile, what people do is that they go to their profile, they click on me, they go to the profile, and they copy this link. Now, this might be different for different people. Now, as you can see, the link that I'm sharing right now, I can put it up. Let me see, I can put it up in chat. I don't think so. Let me see. Right. And if I look into it, if you look at the LinkedIn link that I posted over there, right? It's linkedin.com.in Saurabh Mohorikar. This is a personalized profile link. It looks professional, right? So I think somebody who has not made a link like this is seen as somebody who is a novice or a starter or a beginner in LinkedIn. And a beginner generally is, well, it depends upon the role, but for various bigger roles, is not targeted that well. So the first thing that you need to do is to convert and is to ensure that you have a professional link over here. So I'll just click on me. I'll go to my profile, and this is the case, public profile URL. In case you've not done this kind of setting, what you need to do is to click on this edit button. Is edit button by click kariye, and you can actually set up your own URL. For example, if I just click on this as edit, as we can see, I'll just highlight this portion. Here, I'm looking at here. This is your link. In this case, my link, right? What you need to do is to ensure that you have a proper professional link over here. Okay. अब अगर मैं इसको delete करके cancel करूं, if I go for the major URL of LinkedIn, the URL will be very long. What you need to do is to shorten this URL, and LinkedIn is helping you do that. Why not take it, right? What you need to do is to put up a name over here. Just put up your name and click on save. Now, once you save this, And once I go to my profile, my profile page, instead of having a link like this, Lambi si, I'll have a link like this, right? Which is my customized link. Looks professional. Now, advantage of this customized link is it can be put into various parts. Imagine the long links. Obviously, those links can be put on resume, can be put on cover letters. But a link like this can easily be put on resume. People can just look at your resume, click on the link, and can visit your LinkedIn profile. Very, very helpful, right? So, सबसे पहला काम आप यही करेंगे that in case you have not done it, if you have done it, excellent. If not done it, you have to ensure that you have a public profile and URL which is short and crisp. Recruiter like that, these kind of activities, that it shows that you are an experienced chap in on LinkedIn over here. Okay, right? So we'll be definitely talking about some basic stuff over here, guys. Right? So I think I'm more of a case that what is that basic stuff which should fundamental things that we need to do to ensure that our chances of getting selected in a interview process increases multifold. Okay, now and I'm a big believer of the statement that small things are the ones which are making the big changes. And I'm also saying that doesn't matter how much you argue, but all of us are humans and all of us absorb knowledge by looking more as compared to reading something. जैसे मैंने ये प्रोफाइल देखा, मैंने पिक्चर देखी, मैंने वॉलपेपर देखा, आई ऑलरेडी हैव ऑफ एन इमेज ऑफ दैट प्रोफाइल इन माय माइंड. दैट इमेज इज गोइंग टू बी देयर irrespective of whatever I write down. See, whatever I write down supports what I put in over here, in my opinion, right? So I think a lot of people might argue that nahi, aisa thodi hota hai. I think whatever is right over here, once people read, they'll realize that how good is my profile and everything. Sure, but chances of that happening is very less over here, unfortunately. So if you have a very decent professional level, uh, you know, this is called as a pic. This is called as your profile pic, and this is called as the wall, or man, we could call it the wallpaper for the time being. Put both of them. Okay, so we'll talk about the image and the profile link over here. Obviously it goes without saying that the image over here should be professional. Okay, what you need to do is there are certain things that you need to ensure that the images carry. For example, I'd like to put up certain examples in front of you about one example you've already seen of mine, right? Let me put up other examples of very nice, good images. Okay. Whoops, I think I've opened up another one. So I'll just maximize this. See, look at this. Right. Number one, the background has to be good. It seems to be. Now, this one is good thing is looking straight into the camera. That is one thing which is taking your pick. Second, a smile. Very nice. Third, the background over here appears to be of a college or of a building, right? Which is not bad. Here, if you look at it, the smile is not very broad, but at least the pic over here looks very professional. The background seems to be of an office, which is very nice, right? Indicating that you're working somewhere and looking for a better opportunity. These two pics, however, I would like to see again. The smile is there and looks very professional, but I love to see at least a coat or a blazer over here along with tie, right? It might take some effort. People actually might do photo shoot for this as well. Okay, I'll just put it up. Oh, I think I've closed it. I'm so sorry. I'll just open it up again. Right. So people actually end up in the western part of the globe. People have a proper photo shoot for their online profiling pics. Proper, right? So I think an image which is cropped from a bigger image. Please try and avoid this. An image which is not very clear. Please try and avoid it. An image in which you're not smiling. Please avoid it, because smile ensures that it actually indicates that you're a positive person and everybody wants to hire a positive person, right? Irrespective of the talent that you possess, right? If you're not a positive person, if you're a negative person, in the long term, you will end up creating more troubles for the organization rather than solving their problems, right? So the point is, these two images I like. These two images I think that can improve further, because I can see that I can easily observe that this image over here is an image cropped out from a bigger piece of, let's say, a group image over here. I can see that ये जो image है, it's this image is not a part of itself, not a image in itself. Plus the background is very shabby, and the background is coming equally. It's coming up equally as compared to the person in the image, which I believe is not the right approach. A little bit of that happening over here in this image as well. Okay, these two are the ones which I like. You can also take an example of the kind of image that I have put in. I think I can proudly say that the image over here that I have put in, whoa, okay, got it, is of all the is in alignment with all the professional requirement of an image. So if you look at it, this is something that is nice. Smiling, number one. Number two, very, very professionally dressed. Number three, there's a light background and I am being highlighted in the image rather than the person is being highlighted in the image rather than the background. Okay, that is one thing that you need to remember. Now, second one, after this, please put up a wall over here. Please put up a wall. Please, people leave this blank. Okay, they edit this, and we delete the photo over here, and then we say that okay, I'm not getting anything right to put over here. Again, people invest a lot of time and energy in putting up a good canvas background over here. And what is the kind of background that I put in? I just put in my name and what is my professional. The message, what is my profession? The message that is going to the person who's right now looking at my profile is that I'm a data analyst. Khatam. Right? So that's the first impact that I've created using this particular image. In case you say that sir ये हम कहाँ से create करें, this is created and uploaded absolutely for free. There are various wall LinkedIn banner that is actually called as LinkedIn wall banner. A lot of websites are there which can help you build in a good professional LinkedIn banner. But I think the one website that I like is Canva. In case you guys do not have a tool like this, you can go to Canva. You can go to Canva and start your design over here. For example, if I search LinkedIn banner, I just linked this LinkedIn banner. I clicked on this, and now this is the one which I used, guys. The first one which I got last time in the class. I clicked on it and did edit this, and well, there we go. Right, we don't need this kind of image because I'm already putting an image over here, so probably it's not required. But you can select, what we need to do over here is that we can just customize this template, and look over here, and if I just, the name is gone and now I can write Saurabh Moharikar. See, I've created an image, and here on graphic design, I'll double click over here. I'm not a graphic designer, right? I am got it. So I'll just double click this. I'll say that I'm a data analyst, right? Or I should say AGM, data analytics, right? So, if you want to highlight your designation rather than the field in which you're working, you're most welcome to do it. So, AGM data analytics, and I can probably mention my email ID over here. I can go for Saurabh @iNeuron.ai. Okay, there we go. Now done. And once we've done this, we can actually save this. Here we go. Right, we can share this, and we can click on share, and we can click on download. Click on download, and I think mostly you should take the PNG file only. I think it's the best suited. Take the PNG file, download this. Okay, the download is here. The download is ready. The download looks something like this. My wallpaper is ready in almost no time. Now, of course, with some effort being put in, I would have definitely created a better wallpaper using the case. Plenty of designs are present and plenty of tools are present in Canva. I would suggest that go and explore this, right? So ensure that this is the second thing that we're doing. So we need to have a professional link, and then we need to have a hello. What happened? Just guys. Yeah. Right. So we can go next. Is we're talking about our profile image. We talk about profile image, and banner. This is again quite important. Okay. Now let's move on to the next part over here, which is our LinkedIn bio. This is called as a bio, more commonly known as bio over here. Right. So you write your name, you write your bio. What is? Let me give you good examples. Certain good examples of the bio that we have. Right. So I'll just start with those examples. I think a few of my colleagues and acquaintances have looked at it. Now look at this particular bio over here. If you look at your screen, Senior Digital Marketing Manager, SaaS Product Marketing, Digital Transformation, CRM, B2B and B2C customer experience. So here the person has very clearly written what are the various fields and what are the various industries or sub industries is he involved in, and what kind of profile he is very clearly reflected over here. Now, if I'm into digital marketing, I cannot escape this guy's profile. I think this is something which is very, very clearly coming up over here. Okay, just a minute. Now, if I give you another example, if you can see product manager, cloud computing. Now, this guy, if you look at it, product manager, cloud computing, SaaS, mobile, new product, startups, partnership, and go to market. Now, here, this person has highlighted his current designation and the kind of stuff that he has done or the kind of skills and tools that he is aware of. ये भी कर सकते हैं. Here, this person chose to represent only the entire profile, not the skills, not the achievements or anything. Okay. This is one thing. I think a lot of people are using this vertical line to separate out text over here. For example, it's always good not to write a lot of things. Executive experienced in strategic planning. So instead of writing this executive experienced in, I'm aware that if you're putting strategic planning on your profile, you're experienced in strategic planning. So why would I write something like executive present experience in strategic planning? What I'll do is I'll straight away write strategic planning. No, अगर मेरे को bio बनाना होगा, I'll straight away write strategic planning, and that vertical column or vertical two rows over here, that this is present just above your enter keyboard over in on your keyboard, just above the enter key. So I'll go for strategic planning. Simple as that. I'll just put in strategic planning. ये पूरा डालने की क्या जरूरत? It is taking a space over here and it's making the user read, which to a smaller and a larger extent is going to irritate him. So strategic planning, program evaluation, cost analysis, budget management, and broad board governance are the elements that you need to mention. Here, the person has written it separated by comma, but I would basically say that it'll be great that if you guys can put in the vertical lines over here, as we have done it here. Look over here. Here, separated with vertical lines over here. If the agenda is same, the agenda remains the same, please separate it with vertical lines. Okay. Now let me get back to the profile. All right. So this is our bio. This is something which is essential, and obviously you guys will do it. Now, one mistake people do in their LinkedIn profile over here is here, right? They do a bit of mistake. What is that mistake? They enter their current location rather than entering the location where you want to be. You might have finished your engineering and moved on to your hometown. आप शायद, let's say you are in Madurai, but you want to have a job in Bangalore, right? You want to have a job in Bangalore, but you're in Madurai. People write Madurai over here. Now the problem is, this indicates that I'm there in Madurai and want to stay in this particular location. This is the location where I'm looking at. This is, I'm not ready to switch. Is some switch the location is an indication which comes from here, which is not a good indication, right? But I don't want to get into that. I want to get into was I'll put in something where I want to move on to, because ultimately, मुझे Bangalore जाके I need to start my career over there. I'm here in my hometown for the last 6 months because the last session of engineering attendance probably not that mandatory. Project घर से कर लिए, घर से हूँ काफी टाइम से मैं, but this is where I want to be. Then put up the city where you want to be. Career कहाँ पर build up करना है, put it up over there. Now, if I make it California over here, I'll start getting the international offers over here. It'll not exactly offers, but I think in international connections and offers or starting a process of discussion at least, right? So people do take care of the location quite seriously, right? So now this is the basics of it. The rest of the other basic section you definitely can go for. You can go to open to work. Always keep open to work. If you're open to work, you can hide it from the current employer. You don't have to, the current employer will not be able to see whether you have actually put it up open to work over here or not, right? You can show the details and you can go to the settings. Right now I'm not able to find that setting, but I think here we can click and we can see that who can visit your profile and can see that are you open to work or not. Majorly it's only the recruiters barring your own company. Okay, so it does have the cases where can put in the profile. Now please ensure that you put in the exact designation that you want to enter into. For example, if you want to become a data analyst, put up a data analyst. You want to become a senior data analyst, become a senior data analyst. You want to become a data science manager, go ahead and become a data science manager, right? Just put it up over here. These are the roles I'm looking at, because once people enter these roles, right, you keep on getting the notification. They also get to see your profile slightly better. The algorithm sorts the profile slightly better if the keyword matches. Okay. Now, once you move on to the LinkedIn profile, let's spend around 10 to 15 minutes over here. You can talk about your professional summary. I'll give you another example of a professional summary. I think I like one of the professional summaries a lot. I think this is another very classical example of LinkedIn headline, right? Data science, the industry which is healthcare, what kind of technologies will I be using? So एक ही झटके में मैंने क्या कर दिया है, मैंने तीन चीजें convey कर दी using this headline. One, what is the kind of role in which I want to enter into, which industry am I working in, and what kind of technology have I used. Now you continue further and see what kind of impact have I created using those technologies, right? So here the bio can be is done in multiple ways. He has given his designation, industry, and one of the biggest achievement that probably the person is proud of. Very nice, right? It's very nice, very nice. Okay, now hello, is there a problem? Yeah, sorry. All right, guys, coming back. Right. So, yeah. So, headline, I think we've just seen this. I'll just take it up. And, you know, same case marketing manager, SaaS apps driving growth from 10x. People mention in one line their biggest achievement over there, which I believe is a very nice approach. Okay. Now, this is one of the, this thing, professional summary that I've written. So, there are two ways in which you can write the professional summary. One way is this way, in which you write 4 lines and we write only that much content which is visible without clicking on that particular link called as see more. Now, if I write another 4 to 5 lines, there'll be a link appearing over here which will say that see more. Click on that link and you'll be able to read the entire professional bio of that particular person, right? 100% fine, absolutely fine. Right. But I think I have started liking over the years people who can write, uh, you know, who can write stuff about themselves very clearly. For example, if I just do the analysis as I've done in the previous class, now if I look at this, the same thing I've, you know, analyzed over here. The first thing that he did over here was to give his professional experience. I love to dig into customer problems and solve them with modern technology. I create, scale, and optimize product portfolios. He's talking about his profile. Then he's talking about, he's extending that discussion over here, right? Then he talked about his professional and technical skills. Now, I would want the professional and technical skills to go up above in the summary in the LinkedIn profile, and then move on to, various other kind of summary that what exactly do I do in my professional, okay, in my profession. Then he talked about, I can successfully create that what he can do, right? I can successfully create, scale, optimize software product portfolios. And थोड़ा सा वहां पर उसने एक you know physical evidence is also kind of given over here to ensure that the user who is reading it understands that okay, this is not fluke, he's done it. Okay. Then he has put in the best thing I love about this is he's put these things, whatever he want to highlight on in the small section in bullet points. Bullet points का advantage ये है कि you can still read without getting irritated. Simple as that. The user can read your points without getting irritated because subconsciously is getting the message that okay, there are three major points. Now, if I write this in a textual format, the user doesn't know what is the scope of information provided in that particular paragraph, and hence I had to read the entire paragraph. Subconsciously, that gives me a bit of irritation. But here I can see that okay, three pointers over here, which means that there are 3 points. Let me go through it, and my job becomes slightly easier. So he says, I put the customer at center of all that I do. I excel at the execution. So he's just describing his profile over here. He continues with his capabilities. Here he talked about what are the achievements, right? Then he continued with his capabilities. What are the capabilities that he has? I can align, lead, grow world-class product teams from 10 to 100 people. He moved on to his capabilities over here, what I can do. And then again, the same thing is been explained to a slightly deeper extent using the pointers. Love this approach. Second is whatever is his attitude, his professional attitude. I educate, refine, and drive myself to be a better person. I'm constantly learning again in pointers. 3 to 4 pointers everywhere have kept as a user my job very easy because I just need to go to this 7 to 8 pointers and I'll be able to understand the person professionally. Right. Now, the same thing can be put in over here. Here, for some reason, I put in and put in my four-liner experience over here. But this, I can tell you that this is not very exciting, right? So I probably need to, as a changer as well, I need to change this thing. Now, there are a lot of things, of course, you uh, obviously create your experience zone over here. That is in which you mention all the experiences that you have garnered till now. I would suggest that a lot of people actually in their LinkedIn profile, try and put in everything that they've done, everything that they put in their resume is absolutely being, put in over here as well. राइट तो जो जो रिज्यूमे में लिखा है वही उठा के यहाँ कॉपी पेस्ट कर दिया एंड I'm not slightly aligned with that approach. The reason is you should keep a bit of suspense going over here so that the person can click on the see more and read about your profile over here. But still, the point is don't put everything that you have done over here, just like I have done. Right? When I get a requirement, I'll change that. Right now, my profile is more towards a description phase rather than a job hunting phase. So I've put it up over here. But if the moment I move on to job hunting mindset, I'll definitely keep a bit of suspense over here. I'll talk about a couple of liners, that's it. And then I'll talk about the skills that I've gained and I've used in that particular role in that particular company. Right. So this is about the work experience. The idea is keep it short, keep it crisp, and keep a bit of suspense going in your profile when it comes to work experience. Don't try and put in every detail. Nobody anyways is going to click on that, see more and read it, because the once I've understood your profile, AGM data analytics, okay, the guy is in data analytics, I have a fair idea about what he would be doing. So मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा effort मारने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Okay, so there is a lot of things that we can look into over here. Cool. We are now moving towards the end of our discussion. We definitely should put in our education 100%. At the same time, try and put in as many projects as possible over here and put it up with proper case over here. As we can see, these are the projects that I put in as a demo case for this particular class. Okay. Whoa, I clicked. Sorry, I actually closed my LinkedIn profile. Sorry for that. I'll come back. There we go. So here I've mentioned certain projects over here, right? Although it's not available right now to public, but I've mentioned certain projects related to ANOVA and hypothesis testing, indicating that I've worked on this. Please put up your projects, whatever projects that you have done in past, or the project you're right now working presently, put it up over there. Of course, if it's a confidential project, then obviously we'll take a call on that. But if the project is public and you can put it up, I would strongly suggest that put in all the projects and work that you've done over here. Don't be humble. Put it up over there and highlight that. Okay. Of course, I think it should be the last two major educations which have contributed greatly to your, profile. Then we can move on to licenses and certification. Of course, you can put in as many licenses and certifications as possible. It will be great that if you can get your licenses and certification uh, from the institutions which are well known in a specific this thing, a specific profile. For example, if I want to show that I am certified in Tableau, I like to go for a Salesforce certification, because Salesforce is that particular company which has invented, or rather, well, we can call it invented or discovered the tool called as Tableau that we have today for data visualization and modeling. So if I get a uh, certification from Salesforce on Tableau, or from, let's say, MySQL on SQL Workbench, or I can get it from Microsoft on either Excel or Power BI, it'll be great. The impact of that profile is slightly better over there. Okay. And again, I've already mentioned that during education, mention all your projects, but you can actually add up another kind of, what do you say? Uh, no, this is not project. Another kind of header, which I've added it over there. Projects. So I've mentioned all the projects, all the major projects that I've worked over here. Just a bit of mentioning again. What I've done, what tools did I use over here? What I've done, what are the tools did I use, and what was the problem statement? Tools kya use kare maine, kya achieve kara? What was the achieve? Simple as that, right? I'm so sorry for that. I'll just come back to that. Right, and a lot of projects are being mentioned over here. Now, the most important, or one of the most important, is recommendations. Right, guys, ensure that you have, even as a fresher, you have 3 to 4 very nice, genuine recommendations over here. Need to have recommendations. Okay. And if you're working, your reporting head's recommendation will work wonders for you. If you have the recommendation from somebody who is in at least the senior level management in the current company, it'll work wonders for you. People do that. Okay. And why should I recommend? Why should I provide my recommendation? And okay, this is something which is important, but I'll get back to that later. Right. The point is here, what I want is, if I'm a working professional with 2 to 3 years of experience, I would want my junior to give me recommendations, my team to give me recommendations, and my seniors to also give me recommendation. It will work beautifully, because now I've established myself in the eyes of the user as somebody who can handle the team well, and somebody who can be a part of the team well as well. Right. So this is what I've done. I have recommendations from, well, these are the superiors. I think we have a couple of the people who have worked closely with, and there are certain superiors over here, who I used to assist in the day-to-day operations when I worked in operations and analytics field, right? So they have my recommendations over here. And how have I actually got the recommendations? I've given a lot of recommendations. Okay. I've given a lot of recommendations over here. Keep on requesting. Request career recommendation के लिए. The best thing to receive recommendation is to give the recommendation first. Give it very genuinely and ask the person. Ask the person, बस आपको recommendation दिया है. Hopefully you do not mind this. And if you can please extend this and give me recommendation as well. मुझे भी recommendation दे दो. सामने वाला खुशी खुशी करेगा इसको, right? I'll tell you that. So give 4 to 5 recommendation yourself. You'll receive 3 back, and that's it. 7 to 8. Give 10 recommendations today on your LinkedIn profile. Give 10 recommendations to people you've worked with. Even if you're a fresher, if you've worked, collaborated hands with somebody on a college project, give him recommendation and ask for his recommendation or her recommendation. Things will happen. Okay. Then of course he'll move on to awards, honors and awards. Important hai, but I think as a profile, now I'm not getting this down on your profile. I think the best I can, as a recruiter, I reach to is the recommendations portion over here. रिकमेंडेशन तक मैं सेटिस्फाई हो जाता हूँ. सो यहाँ तक तो आपको प्रोफाइल सही रखना है. यू डेफिनेटली कैन कंटिन्यू वर्किंग ऑन योर प्रोफाइल, on the further notes over there as well, right? So this is how you can maintain your LinkedIn profile. Unfortunately, I have only 1 hour to discuss this. I can talk for entire webinar. I've been taking webinars on building your LinkedIn profiles and resume for quite some time now. And I think I cover a lot of contents. I've covered it in a 1 hour webinar as well. I've covered this in 3 to 4 hours as well. We can keep on talking about, professional networking like anything. But I'll not leave this session without discussing the most important element, which I believe is the activity, your activity on LinkedIn. Very important, right? Profile बना दिया, सब बढ़िया कर दिया, recommendation भी डाल दिया. These are all one-time preparation. But if you really want to project yourself as somebody who's a data science enthusiast or data analytics enthusiast or any other technology per se, you need to show some kind of activities that you're doing over here. Okay. For example, if I look at the activities, where are my activities? I don't think I can. Yeah, here it is. Right. So people do take the pain of going through the activity that you're doing, because you can't fake your actions. You can have people putting in a lot of things over here on your workx. Bio में आपको जो लिखना है वो लिख सकते हो. But if you really are not interested in data analytics, you'll not be doing a lot of activities over here, which is not done. Make sure that you do one activity every day. And what do you mean by activity? Simple as that. You put up a post, you like a post, you comment upon a post, you like an article. Plenty of activities can be done. For example, if I go for this thing, data analytics development in, or rather I should say developments, let's say, बहुत ही random डाला है, but I think this is what I want. Now what I'll do is I'll get a lot of posts related to that. I might get a few articles related to that as well. Okay. For example, I found this guy who said that I'm a senior, I'm as executive and documentation at some company, and he has created a very beautiful dashboard over here. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what you need to do. If you have created a dashboard, share the dashboard with the world and say that, okay, this is the dashboard that I've created. Now, if I'm a recruiter, I see that, okay, he has an experience of creating dashboards. Simple as that. Okay. And of course, this is properly, we can, I think here, we can say that the person has taken some help from LLM models to generate that. That is absolutely fine. आपको पोस्ट का जो टेक्स्ट है ना, वो आप चैट जीपीटी से निकाल सकते हैं. जनरल टेक्स्ट आपका आ जाएगा. The more important is this guy's effort in sharing his document over here. Now I can actually get into this, and 2 comments I can go for congratulating the person, especially if the person is still connected with me. On LinkedIn, we are connected with a lot of people who are not actually connected with, right? But if we are connected with him, we can actually go for this thing. For example, I can say that congratulations, a beautiful dashboard and a very clear dashboard. और अगर आप यहाँ पर उसको कोई एडवाइस दे सकते हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल we can go for donut chart instead of pie chart, right? So if I make a comment like congratulations, it's a great dashboard, if I may give you a suggestion, if I may suggest, donut chart instead of instead हो गया वो instead of pie chart, right? I think I am not very great at spelling, guys, so I'll just put it up like this. So donut chart instead of pie chart. Now yeah, I'm just putting a comment like this. I'm doing nothing, right? Doing nothing, just commented, nothing else. It's not allowing me to comment. Why? Okay, now I do. So I posted my comment over here. Brilliant. Simple as that. Now I don't know this guy, but I've done an activity on LinkedIn, and I've actually suggested that use a donut chart instead of a pie chart. Now, as a recruiter, I'm in my profile. Okay, I'm in my profile and I'm definitely looking at your activities. And I saw that, okay, the last activity that he has done is he has commented on some kind of post related to dashboard, right? And it's not coming up right now, but I think after some time it will come up. But what he has done is he has suggested something. For example, comments pe jata hu, I'm sure he'll get congratulations, it's a great dashboard, if I may suggest donut charts. So the point is it indicates that not only I can suggest, but I'm also active on LinkedIn, and I'm also active on this data analytics and data visualization part over here as well. Won't won't hurt at all. In fact, most of the cases, it gives me a lot of advantages. It has given me a lot of advantages. I think a lot of people send me requests because of my activities on my LinkedIn. Okay, now guys, what kind of activity can I comment? Can I go ahead with? You can give a post. You can use chat gpt to generate a post and put that post over there. After, of course, you know uh, you know uh, changing it and making it slightly more, customizing it as per your requirement. Chat gpt आप 200 words का एक आपने post create करा, and you added some of your thoughts and some other elements over there, and it created a post. It'll take you 10 minutes, right? You can comment on a post, share an article, share one of the dashboards, share whatever you have. एक post. See, take it like this. हफ्ते में 4 दिन, 4 days in every week, do some or the other kind of activity on LinkedIn. 2-3 जगह पर जाके कमेंट्स करिए, प्रोडक्टिव कमेंट्स करिए, पुट अप एटलीस्ट 1 पोस्ट एवरी वीक. अब इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि सर ने बता दिए तो पोस्ट ही पोस्ट डाले जा रहा है, राइट? 15 पोस्ट डाल दिए, एक ही दिन में खत्म कर दिया काम, एक ही दिन में खत्म कर दूंगा सारे काम. नाउ दिस इज द एग्जैक्ट काइंड ऑफ एक्टिविटी व्हिच हैज बीन वेरी इजीली आइडेंटिफाइड बाय रिक्रूटर्स. रोज एक करिए, शो रेगुलरिटी रादर देन क्वांटम. साइज मत दिखाइए, क्वालिटी दिखाइए, राइट? शो रेगुलरिटी. Every day you'll have to be consistently giving some or the other kind of activity to LinkedIn, and it will pay you back 2 to 3 folds. I can guarantee you that. Okay, all right, so this is a snapshot of what we can do with our LinkedIn profile, guys. Obviously it's not limited to what we have discussed. 100% not. Plenty of things can be done. For example, I did let's say, imagine that I participated in a competition, and I reached, let's say, 27th rank. And 27th rank is a huge rank when you look at the kind of people participate. And let's say knowledge driven competition, may I got 27th rank. Share it, right? Share this, make this an article, make this link an article over here. Put it on LinkedIn, man. Okay, put it on LinkedIn and right, put it on LinkedIn and describe in certain words that what you've done, what kind of project was it, what you've done, and what are the achievements, what are the tools that you've used. Show your activity over there, right? People will start getting you noticed on LinkedIn. So I have joined hands with so many people on LinkedIn that I'm a count karna मैंने छोड़ दिया. Every day I get 4 to 5 requests. I also send requests as well to people, right? And these are the people who have not known. So I can easily see that my profile is getting recognized because I keep on doing all these kind of things on LinkedIn. Okay, as a hobby. Ensure that you do it regularly, guys. Ensure that you do this regularly. Okay, for today's session I think this much is sufficient. Okay, इतना आप चेंज कर लीजिए. So we have talked about changing the public URL, we talked about changing the image and the manner, we talked about bio, we talked about what kind of professional summary and how to make it very attractive. We have talked about your work experience if you have. If not, you can put in your licenses and certification and projects. You can highlight them. We talked about the education, of course, put in the education over there and put in all the projects that you've done in the education. And we finally talked about the importance of recommendation and how to get them from quality people. Give the recommendations first, you'll get the recommendations. And finally, we talked about the importance of activities on LinkedIn. Right, so this is what we have covered today. Tomorrow, once we move on to this, or rather not exactly tomorrow, on Monday, we'll now move on to various kind of strategies or how to start preparing for interviews. So I'll take you to the interviews. Till then, if you have liked the content, if you've done something, you can definitely like the video. Consider subscribing to our channel if you're not subscribed already. You'll see me a lot over there. Apart from that, ensure that whatever prerequisites that we have discussed today on LinkedIn, you do it on your LinkedIn. Please be consistent and regular on LinkedIn. One day is going to pay off so heavily that you'll not be able to describe it in words. Okay, so please do that. And yeah, this is where I am moving towards closure of the session. Please allow me to close the session, guys. And I hope I've added value in this 1 hour discussion. If you have any doubts, feel free to put it on the chat box, right? Otherwise, in the next hour, we can, or other in the next minute, we can close the session. Oh, wait, I think there are no resources today, so I'll just put it up here. Okay, there's a comment. I have a question that isn't related to today's session. What is the future scope of a data analyst? So I'll take this up because I think the next sessions towards the interview, data analytics, I think we have, it'll be great if we can go to the recording that we did yesterday or rather day before yesterday. I've discussed in detail what is the future scope of a data analyst. Data, when the speed in which the data is getting generated and the speed with which we are catching up with that, there's always a gap which is getting created. And because that gap is widening year by year, there is a requirement of more and more professionals who can actually fill that gap. And industry, we have already experienced that data is gold mine. Data can help your business. People have already understood that. So people are not going to ignore this gap, right? And the gap is going to widen. So the scope of data analyst and data scientist or generative AI or prompt engineering or deep learning, reinforcement learning is not going anywhere. It's going to be there. And of course, we're talking about product management as well, right? It's not going anywhere. Huge scope. Right, guys? So I think I'll just do this. There we go. Yeah, got it. All right. So now we don't have to, worry about the resources because the resources आज के case में ज़्यादा नहीं है. But I think we'll surely move on to resources again. Let me close this up. All right, guys. So allow me to end this. Okay, like I met a guy on LinkedIn who told me that his team is working on a LLM model which can do most of the work of a data analyst. Okay, that is something that is, it's an exaggerated comment. So that is, you know, that LLM model will obviously be created by, a team of Gen AI and data analyst specialists over there. So possible, 100% possible. Don't, uh, you know, see, always worry about what is being commonly accepted by industries. What are the basic level of industry standards? Might be there's a guy, I have no idea what is the credibility of that person that you've met, but if he is working, it'll again be great. There's no point over there, there's no doubt over there. But कॉर्नर केसेस को इग्नोर करिए, बेसिक इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड्स के हिसाब से बात करिएगा. Right, so I think he'll be there. So LLM models are there. He's working on a LLM model which can do most of the work of a data analyst. When people very currently apply most of the work over there, not the entire work. But if you understand the work of data analyst closely, there are certain things that which is very difficult for an LLM model to reproduce. For example, understanding of what kind of visualization to put in what kind of data. Very difficult for a LLM model to predict that. यहाँ पर एक understanding. See, information can be projected using the LLM model, not experience and your understanding. Replicating your understanding through LLM model is quite difficult. We are right now far away from that. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Cool. So I think this is the time that we part ways. Let's meet on Monday, and we'll discuss about the interview strategies. We'll talk about interview strategies. What is an interview? बहुत fundamental चीजों की बात करेंगे. But I'm 100% sure that those fundamental things will be extremely valuable to you going forward for facing any interview. Okay. See you on Monday then, guys. Bye bye. All the best.